Hey everybody, Alec Hansen, video 94, 100 videos in 100 days, and I'm here to bring you a great interview with a buddy of mine, Corey Depass, a top producer, a great branch manager, and somebody who leads with authenticity, and I hope you guys enjoy. Let's get it on. All right, hey guys, this is a special moment for me, because what you guys don't know is this guy is actually the inspiration for the interviews that are going on in this stupid 100 videos in 100 days challenge. Because Corey, you called me and I was in Hawaii bringing our group on, and you're like, dude, we like you, but maybe have somebody else talk besides you. So for those of you that don't know Corey, we have a long past. I consider this guy not only a leader and a friend in the industry, but a friend in real life. He's just one of the coolest, most authentic people I know. Corey's over at Benchmark running a really successful branch. You know, I think you said you're going to fund personally over 100 million this year.
Yeah, we're right at about 85 million right now, and we're going to get over 100 this year for sure. Yeah.
And the branch, your branch around you?
Our branch, we're at 215 million year to date. So we'll do close to 240, 250, I'd say, looking at what we have in the system right now.
So obviously you're super competitive. You're killing it in the business. But before we kind of dive into some of the questions I've got for you, can you share how you got into this crazy mortgage industry? And what was your path like? Because you don't go from zero to like $240 million branch like overnight.
Yeah. So right out of high school, I went to work at a gym, and I was working at a gym. I'll tell the short version of it. I was working for a gym, and the owner of a mortgage company came in. This is way back in the day in 2004. The owner of a mortgage company came into the gym looking to buy a gym membership, and yes. I sold him a gym membership.
Of course you did.
And he said he just wanted to look. Ended up like paid in full, the whole deal.
Closed him.
And he said, hey, if you ever want to sell loans, give me a call. So of course I gave him a call and went down there. The parking lot's got Mercedes-Benz and BMWs, and I'm 19 years old,
this
right?
Is 2004, so right? Yeah.
Of course, yeah. I'm like mind blown, and so I started working there. It's kind of more of a call center. They make the phones ring. You'd pick up 10 calls a day, maybe, and more of that model. But so I got out of the business in 2008. Obviously, we all know what happened in 2008. Got out.
Yes, we did.
Did some various odd jobs. Went back and worked at the gym for a little bit. Did some other things, and then 2010, I hooked up with you and Nick and Ryan, a couple other guys that were going to start a branch, correspondent lender, iMortgage up there, Arthur.
Good days.
And I remember when I started there. I was like, okay, so like, where do we get the business from? Like, what are we going to like do? The phone's going to ring, and it was basically, hey, here's a stack of business cards. Go find loans. Get out of the office.
Yes.
The business isn't in the office. It's out there.
It's still not in the office.
Still not in the office. So yeah, that's what I did, and I just followed direction blindly from you, and I just kind of went to open houses and started knocking on doors, and came across a realtor that I was able to sign an MSA that first year with a real estate company. And then I sat in a real estate office for about a year.
See, I love that story though. I love that, because that's the grind work. Sitting in a real estate office in a cube, newerish to the business, and you're just like, can I get a loan?
Very awkward.
Absolutely.
You don't know anybody there.
No.
It's very awkward.
So let's talk for a minute though. Now that you've developed your career since 2004 onward to today, what's your brand like? How do you define your brand in the industry? What sets you apart?
So I've heard what other people say our brand is.
That's actually what your brand is. So just
which
share
is
that.
What our brand is, right? Like I don't know how I would define it. I think that my opinion of our brand is we just do our job. Yeah. We just do what we're supposed to do, which is close on time, provide good service, and don't miss contingency dates. I mean, that's what we're supposed to do, right?
That's the job.
Lend the money. Other people in the industry say that we are the lender that doesn't make mistakes, that we have a tight ship. That if we say that we're going to do the loan, we can do the loan, and it happens 10 times out of 10. If we say we're going to do something, we do it.
Yep.
And I think that it sounds very elementary, and it sounds very basic to just do what you're supposed to do, right? But the reality is that there is a large portion of our industry that don't do what they're supposed to do. And they do break promises, and they do overpromise and underdeliver, and they do change the terms on the client prior to closing. They do close 2 weeks late, and so there is a lot of that in the industry. So I think that because we have just done the fundamentals really, really well, that is what has made us stand out to the competition. And there's a couple other lenders around here that perform well, but outside of that, there really isn't.
So Corey, I love that message, because oftentimes people look up to top producers and they go, what's the gimmick, man? What's the trick? If I could just do that, then I'll have it figured out. And your answer is just hard work, consistency, accountability. And like that's not unattainable for anybody.
Sure.
Everyone can work hard. Everyone can commit and be consistent. It's hard. And
there's no secret sauce. There's no get rich quick schemes. There's no, a lot of people have asked me that question before, like, what is the one thing, if you could give a piece of advice to somebody that's getting into really any industry, brand new, that made you successful? And I would tell them that it's consistency. Yeah. It's consistency and your performance. It's consistency in your product. It's consistency in originating and marketing and getting out and getting in front of people. I told you the story before. I can't tell you how many times I get an agent or partner that I'm working with currently that, another loan officer has been coming to their open houses, and I hear, this guy's really on me. He's been here every weekend. He's dropping by food, and he's calling on me once a week. And I hear that for 1 or 2 months, and then I'll never hear his name again.
Yep.
And then he's gone.
That's the truth.
And that's what 95% of people do in this industry, or in any industry, even in real estate.
Yep.
And the 5% that don't do that, the 5% that stay consistent and stick with it, wind up with a decent business 8, 9, 10 years down the line.
Yep.
So there's really no secret, right? It's just basics, fundamentals, consistency, and showing up, really.
So here's where I want to break down this conversation through the end of this whole thing. So, you, in my opinion, were the traditional loan officer. You went out, broker previews, open houses, sat in an MSA, and got all of your business and relationships through leveraging referral partners and building a really great reputation. And then this thing called social media that was around kind of started to become like real in our lives. And so walk me through your strategy on how you integrate social media into your origination practices, into your customer relationship practices. What does that look like over time, and what are you doing today with it?
So, back then, the only way to get in front of somebody was to go knock on their door at an open house or go 100%. Sit in an MSA, right? 100%. And now we have the luxury of social media to where we can get in front of people all day, every day if we wanted to, without knocking on their door or going and sitting in. And now, don't get me wrong, there's nothing that replaces a face-to-face connection, for sure. However, there are other ways to stay in front of people outside of physically going to see them, and social media is one of them. And I remember back in 2011 and 12, we started posting those quick close flyers.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, there was a lot of banks that were at, 30, 45 day turn times. We were closing in 15, 21 days, which nobody else was doing back then. And so I went out and friended a bunch of realtors in 2011 and 2012 on Facebook, so I could get the word out about what we're doing and how we can help them, and started posting these quick close flyers. And you'd have somebody that was in a 45-day escrow that was supposed to close in 30 days, or maybe they're on the 60th day, they were supposed to close in 30 days.
Yep.
And they would see this 15-day close, and our phone would ring, and people would call us, and they would see if we could help them, and we would help them, and then we earned a client for life.
It's like gasoline to the rocket ship, right? Like your ability to influence just magnified in this unbelievable way. And so